let me tell you something. This is so cool. Because fellowship is being vulnerable with one another. And I think that the Lord deliberately picked activities that are super vulnerable. Who gets together and sings? No one. You gotta have a band, you gotta have lights, you gotta have a smoke machine, you gotta have a sound guy. It's gotta be so loud that you can't hear yourself. Because singing is vulnerable. And it doesn't matter if you're good or you're bad, it's just vulnerable. And if you live in Nashville, it is vulnerable. And you know what? Praying together is vulnerable. And you know something else about it? Have you ever tried to pray when you're mad? Have you ever tried when you get a group of people together and you're fellowshipping and you're upset or you're hurt and your spirit is shut down? Try praying. You know, just the other day, it was so great. I love my sister was this honest, but I was talking with my sister and we were going to pray over something and she said, you know what, these two people are going to pray. And then later she came back around and she said, Kelly, I'm so sorry. I was going to pray for you, but she's like, somebody in that group just said something to me that made me so mad. And I just couldn't pray. I couldn't do it in that moment. And I think that's exactly the point. That when we get together, that if you're going to pray with other people in fellowship in true koinonia, you have to be right with them. Something that my friends and I, we try to pray together as regularly as we can. And let me tell you, we have to keep clean accounts because I don't care what you're doing or what you're talking about. When you begin to pray, you can feel that spirit shut down if somebody's upset. And the same is true if your fellowship with God is broken. How often do we just say, I cannot commune with God in prayer right now. I cannot commune with God in worship right now because my spirit is broken down, because something has blocked the fellowship. And fellowship is vulnerable. And I love it. I love it that God has set up these elements, like even eating together can be a little vulnerable. You know, just when you're sitting, whether like even dates that start at a restaurant, you're like, do I twist the pasta? Do I cut? I hate the salad, the crouton. I need a straw. Because even eating can be a little vulnerable. Praying can be vulnerable. And how many times, you know, do people, oh no, I can't pray out loud. Because we're nervous. I can't sing, I can't do that, that's weird. No, it's just that we're vulnerable. And the funny thing is, and this is what's so fascinating to me about society, is that we say we can't do this, we can't do that, and we're a little nervous about it. But have you turned on a football game recently or gone to one? People wear blocks of cheese on their head. They paint their bodies. I mean, I grew up in D.C. and was a Redskin fan, and there was a whole section that sits watching the Redskin games, and they dress up as hogs. They come in as pigs to a game. And we'll do all these crazy things, but when it comes to the intimacy of fellowship, oh, no. Oh, that's vulnerable. That's weird. And John's like, no. We're proclaiming to you the word of life that has come so that you don't have to be alone, and that when you engage in in some of these sacraments and in some of these just beautiful elements, you get right with me and you get right with each other.